access to capital, best business practices, success stories, and more. Now introducing our host, Jay Reynolds.
Hi, and welcome to another installment of The Business of Black Business. Question for you. Are you an inventor? Do you dream of making the world a better place through one of your inventions or your innovations? Well, today we get to talk to someone and meet someone who did exactly that. Hello. Again, my name is Jay Reynolds. This is The Business of Black Business. And this is a show that's designed to help Black entrepreneurs and would-be Black entrepreneurs understand how to start, scale up, and grow their business. It's a real unique opportunity to give you access to successful business owners and thought leaders. I want you to hear how they did it. I want you to be in the room where it happened. Now, again, today we get to meet somebody really, really special. I want you to meet Ivan Yaeger. Ivan, how are you?
Wonderful, Jay. How are you doing?
Thank you. Thank you very much. I know how busy you are. You have so many things going, and I really want to thank you for taking the time to kind of do this. I don't read bios, but I'll read a snippet of your bio. Okay. Ivan Yaeger is an internationally recognized inventor and entrepreneur who leads the Yaeger Companies. These companies specialize in product development, manufacturing, and educational programs in healthcare, as well as real estate. Ivan entered the world of innovation when he created a functioning bionic arm for a 7th grade science project. By the time he entered college, Ivan had developed the design into the Yaeger arm, which is very cool, a sophisticated prosthetic limb that garnered numerous science awards, and Ivan has since then developed over 100 consumer, medical, industrial, and educational products. Just an amazing story for such a young guy, right? You've done so much so quick. And for that reason, I really want people to get to know who you are, right? Introduce yourself, Ivan. Tell us who you are and tell us what makes you you. I want to know who your mentors were. I want people to know what made you you.
Well, thank you again. Ivan Yaeger. I'm an entrepreneur and inventor, lifelong tinkerer with different types of devices and concepts, and also a serial entrepreneur. So I'm always looking for opportunities. And I was very blessed. My mentor was my father, Dr. Carl Yaeger Jr., who was a physician and an entrepreneur, and he really equipped me with the tools of being focused, being ambitious, never letting anything deter me from my path and to pursue my passions. So I enjoy working with innovation, but I also enjoy working with students and helping them discover their pathways to success in our technology-driven society.
So did your dad ever get confused with Carl Yaeger, the astronaut? How many times you heard that story, right?
Yeah, in fact, it's so funny. I did meet the actual astronaut, Chuck Yeager, and told him the story how people always asking me if I was related to him. Yeah. Brother from another mother, I guess.
Well, I want to throw in a little congratulations. I know that you were just recently selected as Legacy Magazine, one of Legacy Magazine's most powerful and influential Black leaders. So congratulations for that. I've been lucky enough to be on that list myself, but I am always amazed and of the people that's on this list. It's just amazing to me.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's a great honor for me. It's definitely a highlight for my career.
Well, you were a child prodigy, and you created a functioning bionic arm by 7th grade. What inspired you to do that? Tell me a little bit about that. Were you interested in science and technology at an early age? I know you mentioned early on that you were a tinkerer and your dad was a physician, but walk us through how that happened.
Well, it's interesting that I had always envisioned myself as being a doctor when I was a child growing up, but I also wanted to be an inventor, wanted to be a race car driver, a lot of other things I wanted to do, but seemed to be a lot focusing on technology was what really captured my interest, and loved to build model cars, airplanes, other things like that. And when I was in the 7th grade, I really was inspired with the science fair project. I wanted to do something no one else had done in my class or had seen before in a science fair. And I was a real fan of the $6 Million Man television show. So seeing this man with the bionic arm and legs and eye and wondering if that was actual science fact or science fiction is what led me to explore that and create a project to look at bionics and prosthetics. And I decided I was going to, as an experiment, build a bionic arm using all the tinkering and the various parts and things I have around the house. And that's what really launched the start of my career.
Right. So do you see yourself as a scientist, inventor, or do you see yourself as a healthcare type professional? Which do you see yourself? What bucket do you place yourself in?
Actually, it's a mix of all the above. I would say I would probably paint it as an overall picture of being a product developer and creator. And so always engaged in creating solutions for problems, and then marrying that with the business and promoting side of the inventions, which a lot of inventors are unable to do, be able to commercialize.
Oh, absolutely. You know, you have a lot of smart scientists out there that are terrible business people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So being able to put those two pieces together is what's been the secret sauce for me. And then as kind of a third point, trying to always find a way that I can bring a philanthropic side into it to try to benefit people, show them a possible path they can take to capture their own ideas and creativity and commercialize them.
Interesting. That's interesting to me. So you did that and you went on to college. You didn't talk. I'm curious to know what you did when you're in high school. Did you continue to build things, and did you continue to try to innovate? Did you go after a patent, or did you do, because seventh grade, that's a fairly long distance between seventh grade and, let's say, freshman in college. What did you do during that time?
Well, in my high school and middle school years, I was an annual entrant to science fairs, because my first attempt at winning the science fair with my bionic arm project was a third place result, and I wasn't satisfied with that.
You weren't ready for that, right? We're not ending there.
I wanted my blue ribbon. So I've always been a person who's been very driven and very committed to reaching ultimate goals, and my parents were very much behind me in that pursuit, and said, don't give up, just continue to improve. So each year I improved my project, and I went up a rank until high school. I was able to have an all new project that allowed me to win a lot of science fairs internationally and nationally. And so I was always creating in that side of the innovation with biotech, but also I had ideas for other inventions. So I was always filling a notebook full of different ideas that could solve problems. And that led
to you're the guy that sketches on napkins, right? You get an idea sitting at a dinner table and you sketch it out on a napkin.
All the time.
How many times have I done that?
Absolutely. It's been my life's blood is writing and sketching something.
Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about college. Where'd you go to school? And tell me about that, and how you decided to shape and mold, let's say, your life going forward.
I attended the University of Miami, received my bachelor's degree from the institution. And in fact, I was able to have kind of a career shift as a student. I started out in biology pre-med, and by the time I graduated, I had a business management and organization degree. And I started my first product company as a student. And so I patented my artificial arm when I was a student, my freshman year, and created two other inventions that I eventually patented while as a student. So I actually did my business plan as a management project. So I was able to capitalize on using the expertise of my professors in business law and management and marketing to refine my business plan and get my company really off the ground. So it was a very exciting time to just go for the stars.
You know, I got to tell you though, Ivan, that's left brain, right brain, right? Those two don't normally meet. Your left brain on the science side, right brain business/marketing side. Typically speaking, they're diametrically opposed, right?
Yes.
But it seems like you've been able to marry that. I just think that's pretty amazing.
Thank you.
Now, in terms of things like you mentioned that you had a couple of other ideas that you patented while you were in college. Why don't you at least tell us what those were?
Absolutely. The next invention after the bionic arm was the Desk Master portable book stand. And what it was a book stand that you can clamp onto a school desk, a little school desk they have that are so small, you have no room for your books and notebooks. Well, I was trying to find something that could hook onto the desk that would hold the books and not use up the desktop space. And I couldn't find anything in store, so I made one for myself. And other students said, "Hey, where do you get that from? I want one of those." And I said, my second product. So that was number 2. Number 3 was during the age of video cassettes. I invented a lock that would allow you to childproof a video cassette and restrict access and tampering. And that was patented. And my first big sale was to Blockbuster Video. And so we sold to on television and also through video stores, sold the Deskmaster to school bookstores and school districts. And so I got a chance to see
So you literally had a product on QVC kind of scenario when you were in college?
As a matter of fact, we did some of the 1-800 advertising. In fact, one of my college classmates, who was my first consulting client, family-owned home shopping network. So I was able to get commercials done with them and start publicizing my invention. So leverage a lot of resources around me.
I was about to ask you that. So that's not something that you did on your own. Tell me, because it's very important that young entrepreneurs know that sometimes you need a mentor. You need somebody in your corner, somebody that's not only pushing you, but steering you in the right direction. And even more than that, helping you to stay off the landmines, right?
Right.
So tell me a little bit about that, because that's really important for the young entrepreneur to be able to hear.
There's a saying that says, never win alone, never lose alone. And so it's very, very powerful advice. Always try to assemble a circle of people around you that understand your vision and have the expertise, but also are able to give you real critiques when you're on the wrong track, and can encourage you when you're on the right track. It was important for me, with my parents and also friends of my parents who were in different industries and were very experienced in different things that it would be instrumental for me. I was able to develop relationships with them and get some solid advice. So definitely I would encourage all aspiring and current entrepreneurs, get a good team around you.
Right. I totally agree with that. The last thing I'm going to ask you, kind of on a personal note, in terms of just as you were going through college, you seem to have you have your roots in this community, and it seems to be that the community is really important to you, right?
Yes.
So what did you do during the time that you were in school to basically to fuel that? You didn't just go to school to be an inventor or in pre-med or marketing or whatever. You did other things. What are some of those things that you did in order to, let's call it, to give you a 360 view of life? Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does. One thing that I was always involved in was working with youth. I would go to schools and show my bionic arm. They would invite me to come out, and I was able to get a real view of what students were interested in, that may have been a disconnect in what they were learning to what they want to be in the future. And it helped me to be able to develop curriculum and other programs that merged the interest of students with the actual career world. And so that was something that gave me kind of a big view of the world and how I could fit within solving problems and bridging gaps between people and where they want to go eventually. And just being very civic minded, joining organizations and being a part of things where I could give back. That was invaluable to really have a better understanding of what my trajectory should be.
I just think it's so important to be grounded. It's and understand that that's not it's more than just, you can't just necessarily target, really specific things. There, you have to stay grounded. So unfortunately, and fortunately, we have to take a little bit of a break. But when we come back, I want to talk about your transition into corporate America, building your corporation, and all of the things that you did in order to take that from one level to the next. Not only sustain your business, but grow your business. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll come right back and we'll dive into that. Okay.
Thank you.
I grew up down here in South Florida. So for me, it's a little bit more personal.
For the Mesman and Dover Law Firm, it's about community.
For us, South Florida's our home. You all are our people.
Our family, our future.
The difference we'll make for you, your loved ones, your kids matters, because to us, it's personal.
If you need us, call us 24/7 at 866-954-MORE.
That's 866-954-6673. Demesman and Dover Law Firm, youraccidentattorneys.com.
At DRT Behavioral Services, we provide culturally sensitive mental health evaluations with thorough treatment plans, incorporating alternative forms of wellness, not just Western traditional medicine. Besides medication management and psychotherapy, we provide education to people in the areas of minority mental health with classes on your diet's impact on mood and sleep hygiene for better rest. We also offer weight loss therapy, massages, and facials. Visit brainlovehelp.com today.
We're a boutique.
Quality care is a
Great. Hey, and welcome back to our audience. But I got to tell you, this is what's interesting to me too. It's scalability, next level. How did that happen, right? And I'm talking about the building of a business that has that has the ability to be able to pass on to generations, right? Generational wealth, generational kind of businesses. Really curious to me to how you've decided to chase that. So you've invented almost 100. You have 100 patents and so many different companies that you have. Why don't you share some of those products with us? Some of the products that you've invented, some of the things that you are, let's call it, you've identified as next level.
Yes. Well, a couple of the products I'm very excited about are in our educational space. We invented the bionic robotic hand kit, which is an offshoot of the bionic hand that I patented, bionic arm that I patented. And this is something where students can learn about the interface between robotics and biotechnology. And we have competitions for students who build our hand kit, and then they re-engineer and add their own enhancements. And we've had a lot of students actually become biotechnology engineers and other types of related fields because they were inspired by the competitions in our curriculum. We have our Technology Leaders Initiative, which is inventing an entrepreneurship. So we have students actually learning about starting a business and creating a new product and building prototypes and how to go from idea to marketplace as an educational activity in class. So those are two areas that I think have a lot of impact in society that are products that we've created. But we've created a lot of other things, therapeutic devices for carpal tunnel syndrome, other types of industrial products for manufacturing products. And now we're getting involved in the digital space, creating apps and other types of digital technology platforms, learning and education, as well as medical information and other types of communication platforms.
You know what I can see in your face when you talk about the Technology Leaders Initiative, you actually light up, right?
Thank you.
So I know that means a lot to you. Tell me a little bit about more about that, because I know that you're a homegrown boy, which means that you have your roots here and your heart's here. But it seems to me that that's an opportunity for you to be able to build something that's here, that has a legacy, that is designed to be able to give back. Talk to me a little bit about that, Ivan.
But you're definitely right. It does warm my heart. It's one of the things I enjoy working with, because we work with students from 3rd grade through 12th grade, and we have them working in teams and learning how to apply all their skill sets that they're learning in school, math, language arts, social studies, STEM, into a career relevant experience, and having them try on different roles, different jobs as president of their little startup company, intellectual, the property manager, marketing manager. And so we've been doing this for about 22 years. We have programming going on year round in the school districts, Miami-Dade County Public Schools, one of our big contracts. We also do a summer program with Ford International University every summer for elementary and middle school students. And we have competitions, Dade and Broward counties. And we're working on now our national expansion of our curriculum and our competitions. And so we've had thousands of students come through, and the most exciting thing is to hear from a parent who said, my daughter is now a patent attorney, and she's entering law school now, and she was inspired because she was in your program 15 years ago when she was a kid. Didn't know what she wanted to do, but now she does because she was in your program. So that to me is very rewarding.
I got to tell you, that is nothing more important than that, right?
Yes.
Nothing more important. I can't tell you how many. I make a habit of having interns in my office. Always have
Awesome.
1 to 2 interns in my office, because of the fact that you literally can see the light switch that turn on, and they reach back to you 4 or 5 years and they say, well, I'm doing this, and I just want to thank you because you gave me some ideas about what it is I want to do. And for me, there's absolutely nothing more important than that.
Yes.
Tell me, sometimes people look at business people that are successful, right? And they think it's all like gumdrops and roses. We know that that's not the case.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about some of the adversity that you've had to face. Tell me how you've dealt with that, and give us some examples of that, because people need to understand that, hey, look, it doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
And sometimes they're 6-foot walls, 10-foot walls that you have to climb over.
Yes.
Give us an example of that, Ivan.
One thing I would say is getting your ideas to be accepted. And that's something that all entrepreneurs have to face. How do you break through the competition? How do you show the customers that your product or your service is worthy of attention and their dollars? And I would say that one thing you have to develop as an entrepreneur is a thick skin and a relentless drive to reaching your goals. There's so many areas of things going slowly or not going at all that you'll encounter. And be always aware that sometimes you are having to retool your original concept and maybe take a different path, a different detour, modify your product or your service, because you realize the marketplace has a different view of what they want to spend money on. So be focused on what you're doing and believe in yourself, but don't be so focused that you can't see the handwriting on the wall that's trying to steer you toward a success that may be a little different than what you expected. So with new technology, we're always facing that, trying to get, for instance, the education school districts to accept the educational kits that we had, and showing
or spend money on STEM, you know,
Yes.
and art and music and things like that. It's getting to be more difficult.
Yes.
You know, as budgets are shrinking, you know.
Yes, yes. And we were STEM pioneers. We were touting STEM before it was a thing. And people said, well, oh, that's interesting, but we don't know what to do with it. But now everyone's looking for us because STEM is the thing. So it just shows that if you stick to your guns and keep pushing, if you have something really solid, the world will eventually beat a path to your door. But you just have to hang in there until they know where your door is.
Got it. Yeah, great advice. And I want to ask you about that. Give me what kind of advice would you share with that 7th grader that was working on the bionic arm back in the day? What advice would you give to yourself?
I would say the things that have, looking back, made a difference. Be strategic. Develop a plan that's not just what you want to do now, but 5 years ahead, 10 years ahead. Chart where you want to go. I would always say, write your plan down. Don't just keep it in your head. When you write it down, it becomes something real and it's in front of you. And always revisit that plan and learn from your mistakes. That was a key thing that my parents taught me. Just analyze where you went wrong and find a way to fix it. Don't just say, well, I'm done with that, I'm gonna do something else.
Don't make the same mistake. Don't make the same mistake twice, right?
Right. Don't
fail differently.
Yes, that's right. And don't quit. Just, stay in the game. The name of the game is stay in the game.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got to tell you, I could actually talk to you for another half an hour. I don't have the luxury of doing that. But so I really want you to do this for me. Do a favor for me. Give me some secret sauce. Give me something that you want to leave. I'm going to give you the last word. Give me something that you want to leave people with, or that young entrepreneur with, or somebody that's got this idea that's stuck in the back of their head that they just basically can't sleep with, can't go to sleep at night because they think about it all the time. Give us some sauce.
One thing is intellectual property. Make sure you protect and gain ownership of your ideas, whether it's patents, trademarks, or copyrights. Be excited, but don't be so excited that you tell the world about what you have before you actually own it. So always looking into how you can gain ownership of your ideas so that you can be the one marketing and profiting from those ideas. And also the power of collaboration. Some of the best successes I've had with products and businesses has been when I've partnered up with other entities, other individuals, institutions, and leverage the knowledge and expertise that they also bring to the table. And so don't have an ego that's so big where you think I can do it all myself. And I don't know whether they know I know it all. Always be a student. And always be willing to learn from others and to share and collaborate.
Got it. Well, I got to tell you, again, I could talk to you for a long time, Ivan. I don't have the luxury to do that. So, but you're a busy guy. I really want to thank you for taking the time to do this. Always also want to thank Legacy Magazine for making this important, for understanding that we have a duty to reach back to the young entrepreneurs and help to get them prepared for whatever it is for out there for their lives. Thank you very much. Again, this is the business of Black business.